While we're still upstanding, I'll deliver the karakia for our occasion. Kia inoi tātou. Nuku mai e, nuku mai e. Nuku mai e tō mātou matua nui te rangi. Nuku mai ki a mātou me o mātou tini ai tua. Nuku mai e, nuku mai e. Hei mua koe i a mātou e ihoa. Hei tautou i a mātou mahi katoa. Ko koe anō hoki, hei whakakaha i a mātou. Kia whai korori ai koe i a mātou mahi katoa. He mea timata, he mea mahi, he mea whakaoti roto i a koe. Kia whiwhi ai mātou ki te ora tonu, i te mea e atawhaitia nei e koe. Amine. Would you please join in the singing of our hymn, Whakaaria Mai? The words are printed in the program on page 10 and also on the screen on stage. The hymn is sung first verse in English, second verse in Māori. Graduate of the Diploma in Screen Productions 2015 and the Diploma in Performing Arts Voice in 1997, please welcome Alison Beale. Please be seated.
Ko te rangi me te whenua, ka pā hemo. Engari ko tana kupu, ka mau tono. Tihei Māori ora, e ngā mate. Haere atu rā, haere hoki atu rā. A kia tātou e hui nei nā kanohi ki tia. Tēnā tātou katoa. The Māori mihi essentially says the sky and the earth will change, but his word will hold forever true. And to those who have passed, rest with those who have gone before. And to those of us who are gathered here today, the many faces, I greet you all. And it's my privilege here as Chief Executive today to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for 2017. Nau mai ki tēnei hui, whakanui mō te manga kaupapa, tau hoko hoko hangararo. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Faculty of Commerce and Technology. This is one of 5 ceremonies that we have in the coming month or so, 3 here in Hawke's Bay, 1 up in Tairāwhiti in Gisborne, and 1 in Auckland next week. These ceremonies represent the high point in our academic year. They give us a chance to celebrate achievement of excellence, your achievement of excellence. And so thank you for being here today to be part of this celebration. I'd like to acknowledge at the start the kai whakahaere and the kai karanga for leading us in the karakia and the karanga, and also to the staff and students of Te Uranga Waka who honoured our graduates today with the kapa haka as they processed in. I'd also acknowledge David Pearson, the Chair of Council. David will later confer the awards on the graduates. Also welcome to His Worship the Mayor of Hastings, Mr Lawrence Yule, to their Member for Parliament for Tuki Tuki, Mr Craig Foss, the MP for Napier, Mr Stuart Nash, and also EIT Council Member and Deputy Chair, Michael Morgan. A special welcome to our guest speaker, Yvonne Lorcan, who I will introduce later, and to EIT staff and colleagues, welcome. All these people are here for one reason, and that is to acknowledge your achievement. And there's another group I want to acknowledge and thank also too, which are important here today, and we know they're important, and that is for family and friends of the graduates. Now maybe this is your son or your daughter. You've watched them grow through the various stages of life, and today they go across the stage and graduate. Or maybe it's your mum or your dad. And we always smile when we hear that call, "Go mum," or "That's my dad." Your auntie or your uncle or your granddad or even your nana, your partner, your husband or wife. You've watched and supported these graduates through sometimes some hard times. And we want to thank you for the support that you've provided our students. You know, the making of cups of tea, the cups of coffee, the tidying the room when they've left everything lying around the table, the help with referencing and finding things and proofreading and checking, finding things when they get stressed, getting the printer to work when it won't work and you desperately need it to go, maybe giving them some money, filling the petrol tank, and perhaps, you know, putting up with their grumpy moods, staying up late with them at night when they really need to keep working and you want to go to bed, but they need some sort of motivation to stay up. And maybe de-stressing them, you know, when they're at that really stress point. We had a stressed student in my family this week. My daughter had an examination on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. And as you do, she spent the night before, it's going very late into the night studying. And then she rather poorly and badly set her alarm for the next morning. You guessed what probably happened. The exam was at 9 and she woke up at 9:30. There was a panicked call to her mum. "Mum, I've slept through my exam. It's on the other side of Auckland City. What do I do?" Mum advised her to ring her course controller immediately and see what they could work out. She rang them and they said, "If you can get here before the other students come out of their exam, we'll let you sit the exam." So a fast trip across the city and the exam sat. Whether she's passed or not is another question, of course. I tell that story for a couple of reasons. One, the good advice that comes sometimes from the mum or the dad or the parent or the friend and helps de-stress our graduates. Thank you for the support you provide when things get a little bit stressed out. And also for the staff. And there'll be staff here who have helped you through some tough times too, and I thank and acknowledge them for their efforts of helping you get there. And it really does matter to them. It really does mean something. So thank you. Some of you have supported your loved one in another country. And I want to acknowledge today any families who are here, international families who are to support their international son or daughter or family member. You've supported them in a whole different country and culture, and we thank you for that. We want to acknowledge and thank you for the support that you provide. Well, everyone's here for one reason. That's to acknowledge the excellence and your achievement. The graduates, welcome to you. You've made it. You've finally nailed it. Now, you've all come on different journeys. Your starting points might have been quite different. Some of the challenges you made were quite different. But you all made a choice to do it. Some years ago, when we first moved into Hawke's Bay, we organised for a painter to paint our house. And I went home one day on a scorching Hawke's Bay February day where the sun was blistering, and there was this guy there with some sandpaper and a scraper in the hot, blistering sun scraping away. And as I went inside, I said to him, "Oh, g'day, how's it going?" And he stopped and he paused and he looked at me and he said, I should have spent longer at school. Well, in actual fact, you did choose to spend longer, and you made a choice and made sacrifices of time and money, years for some of you, late nights, you juggled demands. For some of you, it may have been particularly difficult. And for you international students, you've changed countries. You've learnt to study in a different culture, in a different language. And we do acknowledge and honour the struggles and challenges all of you have made to be here today and to complete. You've all, whatever your journey, you've met the standard. You have reached the standard to graduate. And I can assure you that EIT takes academic quality standards seriously. You can have confidence in the award you are getting today. Here are some facts. EIT has the highest quality ranking possible from the New Zealand Qualifications Authority. EIT is a Category 1 top-ranked tertiary education institution here in New Zealand. EIT is one of the top-ranked institutes of technology for research performance, also here in New Zealand. EIT has come a long way in the 40 or so years since it opened, now offering some 12 bachelor's degrees, 3 honours degrees, many postgrad diplomas, 6 master's degrees, and wide-ranging certificates and diplomas. Our goal has been to provide high-quality vocational education and applied professional higher education to the people here in Hawke's Bay and Tairāwhiti and Gisborne, and also nationally in our specialist areas of expertise, in areas such as viticulture and wine science, and health and nurse education, and Māori studies and Māori visual art and design. And our goal is also to provide it internationally. And I've mentioned the international students, graduates who may be here today. Do you know, in 2016, there were 800 international students coming from 49 different countries to study here at EIT. And not only have we got students coming here to study, we're also being approached by offshore universities to deliver our expertise into their universities. So EIT has had a good year too in 2016, with much achieved. A new centre for veterinary nursing, a $1 million build, was opened last year. The School of Business has been heavily involved in building e-campus capabilities. School of Computing received an endorsement and accreditation from the Institute of IT Professionals. The English Language Centre continues to take government officials from across the countries of Southeast Asia to come and study English at EIT. Hospitality students received numerous awards and some 29 medals were won at culinary competitions. And the hospitality school run cookery programs across Marae in Hawke's Bay and in Tairāwhiti. And the School of Trades and Technology taught a new diploma in architectural technology, and not only taught on our main campuses, but also delivered construction training into Tuai, Wairoa, Dannevirke, Tolaga Bay, Tokomaru and Ruatoria. And not just here in New Zealand, they also travelled to Vanuatu to do reconstruction work following the cyclone, in Port Vila in the island of Tana. And the School of Viticulture and Wine Science students keep on doing well and winning awards. Numerous medals were won across different wine competitions by students of the school. And most of the finalists in the New Zealand Young Viticulturalist of the Year and the Young Winemaker of the Year competition were EIT students or graduates. So your faculty last year had a big year also. You can have confidence in the qualification that you're receiving today, that it is from one of New Zealand's top-ranked and highly regarded tertiary institution. So what's in front of you next? What sort of world is coming down the tracks to you? Well, there will be great opportunities, there will be challenges, and of course there will be great change. And there's been so many changes and advances in science and technology in the last period, some of them scarcely imaginable in the past, and there'll be more to come. Much of what comes in front of us will be unexpected. Some will be hard to predict. I mean, just look at last year. We got to vote on a flag. We had Brexit, where the British voted to leave Europe. The Americans voted too and elected Donald Trump. And now we're learning about alternative facts and fake news. And the year finished last year with the 38th Prime Minister of New Zealand resigning and the 39th Prime Minister being sworn in. It's a bit hard to see all of that coming. No one can predict the future, and there will be unexpected, seemingly impossible things that will happen. Unimaginable events will shape the future of our world. And the next 50 years will see massive change that is almost impossible for us to imagine. And it's going to make the last 50 years look slow and easy. This is the world that's in front of you and me. So our challenge to you is to don't just stop learning here, and we know you won't. This is just part of your journey. We hope the qualification award you got today will help you go forward into this world of opportunity, into the challenges ahead, and into this world of uncertainty. We hope that you will go and make a contribution to your community, to your whānau, to your profession, and we hope that you will bring good into this world and all the changes in front of us. But enough for the next 50 years. It's time to now sit back and enjoy the awarding of the qualifications. Now, there is lots of pomp and ceremony in this occasion, but we do invite you to celebrate the moment as your loved one crosses the stage. And graduates, this is your moment. Enjoy it. Now, I know you're probably sitting there nervous about the fact you might trip up. And yes, this is probably being live streamed right around the world. But let me assure you, no one has ever tripped up before, but there is always a first. It's now time, thank you, to move to the awards. So let us begin. By the authority of the Council of the Eastern Institute of Technology, David Pearson, Chair of EIT Council, will now award the diplomas and confer the degrees on those to be presented and on those listed as in absentia. Mr. Pearson. The Dean of Te Manga Kaupapa, Tau Hokohoko Hangaroro, the Faculty of Commerce and Technology, Mr. Fred Kowindas, will present to you the recipients of diplomas in the faculty. Mr. Pearson.
Mr. Pearson. I have the honour to present the diplomas in Te Manga Kaupapa Tau Hokohoko, the Hangarau, the Faculty of Commerce and Technology, beginning with the Diploma in Applied Business, Karen Nicholson. Alex Simmons. The Diploma in Applied Business Human Resource Management, Josephine Pinfold. The Diploma in Applied Business Office Administration, Hannah Finney. Nawai Rogers. Leslie Upfold. The Diploma in Applied Business Operations Management Level 6, Hafiza Marinas. Marie Stowe. New Zealand Diploma in Business, Kerry Hinton. Stacey Jones. Marie Mildenhall. Ben Parsons. Maxine Solomon. Donna Taheri. Sean Tamati. Mai Vu. Diploma in Information and Communication Technology, Colin Bennett Mandy. Andrew Harding. New Zealand Diploma in Cookery Advanced, Cookery, Christopher Bell. Jasmine Brown. Elisa Harris. Jacques Shui. Masanori Takahashi. New Zealand Diploma in Cookery Advanced Patisserie Stream, Kayleen Broughton. Sabrina Fays. Samantha Hawke. Matthew Howe. Annie Ireland. Emma Lincoln. Manetta Savage. And Brooke Webster. Continuing with the Diploma in Tourism and Travel, Janara Allen. Arfina Broughton. Hannah Cox. Dana Easton. Ashley Herbison. Markeri Ihaya. Shona Isa Ako. Erica Lasaro. Crystal Liu. Kate Mora. Ashley O'Donnell. Brittany O'Hanlon. Julie Kirstine Pito, Alicia Bonifacio, Jay Scott, Tote Siko, Supanya Shrichok, Kate Stevenson, Ariana Thompson, Helen Waterworth, Kayla Whittington, Diploma in Applied Science, Jessie Fung, Diploma in Grape Growing and Winemaking, Kouru Mizuguchi, Diploma in Wine Marketing, Kate Ching, Lydia Hartshorn, Alan Weinsma, New Zealand Diploma in Veterinary Nursing, Sarah Flett, Sarah Lord, Brianna McHenry, Summer Maybury, Emma Menzies, and Nikki Wallace. Mr. Pearson, I have the honour to present the diplomas in Te Kura Ahumahi Mātua, the School of Primary Industries, beginning with the Diploma in Horticulture, Jonah May Concepcion. Josh Meredith. Mr. Pearson, that concludes the awarding of diplomas. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Mr. Collins will now introduce our guest speaker.
Well, it's my pleasure now to introduce our guest speaker, Yvonne Lorcan, who has agreed to come here and speak to graduates. Now, I didn't tell you this beforehand, Yvonne, but last year I was flying back to Napier from Auckland, and behind me sitting were two passengers, one of whom was you. And I overheard some of the conversation, and it was so interesting, I thought, I must ask her to come and speak at graduation. So that's how it all came about. Yvonne is the co-founder and the chief tasting officer of the new wine subscription service Wine Friend, which has broken new ground. She's also a host and producer of TV3's show Thirsty Work. She's a drink editor for Dish magazine, and she's a syndicated wine columnist for 10 different newspapers around the country. Yvonne is fully engaged and immersed in the world of wine. She writes a weekly column in the Canvas, in the New Zealand Herald weekly magazine, and she hosts a wine segment on Radio New Zealand national program. She was a regular guest on the Paul Henry Show and will start, I think, next week on Duncan Gardner's AM show in the morning, so you can catch her there. She is also a senior wine competition judge. Yvonne studied herself and was a top scholar at Adelaide's University wine marketing program and was the first New Zealander to go through. And there's almost no aspect in the wine industry that she hasn't had first-hand experience in. Of course, it's not just all about work and wine and running a business. Yvonne is also the mother of 2 teenagers. She's a published author of children's book, and despite being just on the other side of 40, she advises that she can still do a no-handed cartwheel if she gets enough of a run-up. Well, I won't be challenging you to that one, that's for sure. Yvonne, thank you for agreeing to come today on your busy schedule, and it's my very great pleasure to invite you to come and now address the graduates.
I can see you're all looking at me going, do the cartwheel, do the cartwheel. No, I won't do the cartwheel. Maybe I'll do the cartwheel maybe later. Down the pub, possibly. If you ask really nicely. Wow. It is absolutely petrifying being here. But I mean, look at you all. You know, with your hairdos and your makeup and your new shoes. And ladies, you look good too. I feel quite huckery actually up here in comparison. It's terrible. So who's not graduating today? Can I see a show of hands of people that have actually taken time off work today? Can I see? Yeah, so lots of you. Thank you so much for coming along. Because, you know, coming out on a Thursday afternoon, it's not the easiest thing, is it? You know, when your work colleagues, they're back there in their socks in the office, watching cat videos on YouTube, stalking their exes on Facebook, thinking of all sorts of new and interesting ways to wreck the Nespresso machine. We know what they're up to. So I'm just going to come out and say this right now because I'm not going to be able to hide it. I'm absolutely packing myself, all right? Because, okay, I'm a machine when it comes to standing in front of groups of wine people, you know, talking about wine because I'm in their zone, okay? And I'm a ninja when it comes to delivering wine lines down a camera, into a camera, because if I cock it up, I can do another take. It's easy. But I don't know really anything about you guys. All I know is that you're ferociously intelligent. Most of you have just graduated today. And so therefore, you're quite intimidating. So if I appear a little bit shaky, just forgive me, I am quite nervous. Now, Chris told me that my role today was to ensure that you all leave feeling inspired and armed with all sorts of practical tips and advice that you can apply to your own life and your own work following this auspicious day. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have a look at some of the previous EIT graduation speakers and, you know, who have you had? Just some amazing entrepreneurs and technology professionals and medical and health professionals and legal and finance experts and designers and consultants and coaches. So sure, you know, I drink booze for a living. I can totally inspire you. So anyway, the last group of people that I spoke to were business people, and we talked about businessy things. And, you know, one of the buzzwords or buzz phrases in the industry right now in business is problem solving. You know, and I reckon no matter what field of expertise you've recently qualified in, it's your ticket to success, right? It's your license to print money if you can identify problems and solve them, okay? And, you know, this business group decided that if you can, absorb other people's experiences, you know, take them on board and use them to identify problem-solving opportunities, you know, that could make you money, it could get you promoted, it could be really awesome. And, you know, some of the people in this business group said, Yvonne, you know, how is this problem-solving magic going to happen? And, you know, it's really hard to sort of pinpoint the complex mechanism that's going to do that job. But I quoted highly respected lawyer Dennis Denudo from the movie The Castle when I said, you know what, guys, it's just like the vibe of the thing. That's how we're going to do it, the vibe. But, you know, speaking of problems, have any of you ever had the problem? Have you been told that your problem is, you know what your issue is, what your problem is? You're too good at too many things. I know that sounds weird and it sounds a little bit wanky, but it happened to me and I'm going to tell you why. Okay? So this is how my life kind of rolled. I got my first job working at a fruit and veggie stand on Havelock Road for $3 an hour. But all I wanted to do was work in the record shop in Hastings because I loved music. So I begged and I pleaded and I eventually got a job when I was 14 and I became the youngest and most successful salesperson they'd ever had. So that was a big tick. And then I became head girl of Hastings Girls High School. I got an A bursary, got senior scholar, went off to Canterbury University straight out of school and lasted exactly a year and 3 months. It's like I knew what I wanted to do with my future. I knew what I wanted, I just didn't quite know how to get there. And I chose a study path that was completely wrong for me. So I dropped out and I worked in supermarkets during the day and I waitressed at night. I worked in nightclubs on the weekend. I learned about wine, I learned how to cook, I learned how to make coffee, I learned how to mix records, and I learned the fundamentals of hospitality. Big tick. Then my boyfriend at the time said he was moving to Auckland, he was going to be in a band and he was going to be famous and rich. And if I wanted to be his girlfriend, I had to follow him. And if I didn't, then it was all over. So I went, okay. So I went to Auckland. And the fame and the fortune and the faithfulness didn't happen. So after spending a few months as a runner for film and television companies, do you know what a runner is? A runner is like literally the person that runs around. Get coffee, run for sushi, run for Staples, run for, I don't know, safety pins. I did that for a few months, and then I was able to use the fact that I'd worked in that little record shop in Hastings to get a job as the publicity officer for a record company. So it was my job to break new artists and gain as much media coverage for them as I could, and that was my entry into PR and promotion. So tick. And while I was there, I landed a nighttime gig as a VJ on a local music TV station. Now, VJ sounds a little bit dodgy these days, I know that. You know, with the Kardashians and their vajayjays and vajazzling, I can see Chris is looking very confused. All right, Chris? It's right, I'll show you later. No, I won't show you later. I'll explain. Maybe I won't forget I even said it. Anyway, so that was my entry into TV presenting. Tick. During that time, I also became an account manager at 95BFM, which is the largest alternative radio network in the country. So I did radio shows on the weekends and at nights, and during the day, during the week, I had a job selling advertising. Tick. So that was 1995, and while I was there, I started my first business, and it was a voiceover agency called Big Mouth, and it still exists today. So I started that so all my friends, the kids in bands and the actors and actresses, I could earn them extra money, getting them gigs doing TV commercials and radio commercials for, expensive fat cat advertising people. So did that, and then a group of us from the radio station were poached by TVNZ to run the new MTV channel that they wanted to broadcast, and it was my job to sell program sponsorship. Tick. So, I made it. I was thinking to myself, Yvonne, you're 23, you're earning 70 grand a year, you're living this rock and roll lifestyle in Auckland, you are awesome. And then about 8 months later, we all got made redundant. Yeah, and that's when TVNZ said, look, Yvonne, you might be surplus to our requirements, but let's see if we can't segue you into something else, something new. And so they sent me and all my colleagues off to KPMG, which is like a global advisory company. And they put us through a raft of personality type testing. We did confidence exercises and team building and quizzes, and I loved it. I thought it was just the coolest fun. And anyway, 3 days later, I watched all my mates go through the office, and they were told, right, you're going to be, sales, and you're going to be a vet, and you're going to be a psychologist. And I was thinking, oh, goody, what are they going to tell me to be? I was called into a consultant's office and was told under no uncertain terms that I was basically unemployable. Because I'd done too many jobs and holy shit, I was actually good at them. So I was the too hard basket. On your way, Yvonne. So I kind of walked home. I didn't walk home, I hitched a ride home to Hawke's Bay. Kind of deflated and a little bit upset and confused. But that was 1998, right? And I don't know, there'll be some of you that were children, babies in 1998, but a lot of you in here will remember that was a screamer of a year, particularly if you were involved in the wine industry. The vintage was amazing. You couldn't make a bad wine. It was hot, it was dry, it was awesome. There was this real buzz in the air. Hawke's Bay had just rebranded from Hawke's Bay, the fruit bowl of New Zealand, to Hawke's Bay, wine country, woof. and the farmers markets started, and wineries were popping up everywhere, and salladors were opening little restaurants with platters, antipasti, wine tourism started, and it was really exciting. And I thought, you know what, Yvonne, you could actually, you could get involved in this. You could put your smorgasbord-like work history, you could put that into wine. And why wine, I hear you say. And I think, well, I might as well come out and tell you it was a hobby of mine. No, seriously, it was. It was like I knew a little bit about it. You know how some people are into collecting Star Wars figurines or scrapbooking or what have you? I was into wine. And in my late teens and early 20s, while all my friends were out spending their spare cash on shoes and drugs and haircuts and stuff, I was quietly, buying wine books and nice bottles and just sort of beavering away at becoming a little wine nerd in my own spare time. So, now I was living in one of the hottest wine regions in the world, and I decided I was going to get amongst it and make a name for myself in this brand new industry. I wanted to see more wine on our media and on our TV screens, but I kind of had ideas of how I could do it. But to do it properly and credibly, I knew I had to get qualified. So I took a chance and applied to one of the world's top wine schools and was fortunate enough to get accepted. So what happened was 4 years of really hardcore work of studying, and I found out that I was pregnant about a month into my first year. And then I had my second baby in my third year. I took my textbooks to bed, I took them to hospital with me, studied while I was in the maternity ward for my exams. That was awesome. It was really quiet. They bought me food. It was great. But it was hard, actually, because, sometimes when I thought about it, because Hawke's Bay is such a small place, and I felt that people had expected, great things from me when I'd left high school. And, here I was, back in Hastings, 2 babies, not married, on the wrong side of 30. But I thought, bugger it, I'm going to keep my vision. I worked all sorts of different jobs. My husband, who wasn't my husband at the time, but he is now, he worked crazy shifts. And we had people that really criticised the constant juggle that we had with daycare and babysitters and after-school care. But, today I've got a 17-year-old daughter who saw her mum reaching for her goals, like I saw my mum do as well. And I've got a 14-year-old son who understands that households work when everyone chips in, and that men cook and clean, and they cuddle babies, and they read stories, and they make lunches, and they sign the school notices, and they find $4 for the end of week sausage sizzle. My kids know how it goes. But anyway, when it came to working in wine, I didn't just want to work it. I wanted to learn everything I could about the industry. I wanted to become a specialist. I wanted to be someone whose opinions on the subject mattered. I wanted to become an authority, and I was, and I still am, prepared to devote whatever time it took to earn the respect of my peers and become trusted by consumers. I wanted to create a unique identity for myself as a problem solver in the wine business, and I didn't want to copy anyone. And I'll be honest with you, when I first became a wine writer, there are a number of older men in the industry who were very vocal about the fact that they thought I was frothy and that I wouldn't last. So I made it my mission to take their jobs. Tick! Thank you. It was a bit mean. I know I shouldn't have, but they shouldn't have been so nasty. Anyway. So today I own 3 wine-related businesses, and when you combine the readership and viewership figures of my magazine and newspaper columns and my regular radio and television appearances at hundreds of thousands of people weekly, I'm the most widely circulated and widely visible wine commentator in the country, and yet 19 years ago KPMG told me I was unemployable. So what I'm saying to you all is that you have to harness all the talents that you have and then specialise. Okay, find your own niche and then own it. Like, sort out your story, claim it and be original. Forge a new path, and don't be afraid to kind of shake things up a little bit, because that's a philosophy that totally fits with WineFriend, which is a new wine subscription service that I launched with my best mate Debbie Sutton about 18 months ago. So WineFriend was kind of born out of identifying a couple of crucial key problems. And the first one is, damn it, we are so busy, aren't we? We are busy people, and if you're anything like me, You're all about prioritising your time and outsourcing things that can be done, better, quicker and more efficient by someone else, because that leaves me more time to focus on the things that I do well and the things that are important to me. Okay, so I want my family to eat healthy, interesting food. I don't have the time, right, to cook every day or faff around the supermarket, so I leave that to my food bag 5 nights a week and count down online shopping. I've stopped trying to be a superhero in my house. I've hired someone to come in for a few hours a week and she whips the vacuum around, she scrubs the shower, and she's awesome. I want to listen to new stuff on the stereo. I want to watch new TV programs, but I don't want all the clutter. I don't want all the advertising and stuff. So I let Netflix and Lightbox curate my viewing. I let Spotify curate my music. I've even spent money on personal shoppers to trudge around and sort that out, because I don't have the mental capacity to make those choices myself anymore. I'm broke. But I'm free. Every day, right? Every day for years, I've met loads of people who want help. They want help choosing great wines. They want to spread their horizons. They want to open their minds up, but they don't want to make expensive mistakes. And that brings me to the second problem. And that's too much of a good thing can confuse people. I know there's a few wine people in the audience here, but I don't know whether the rest of you will know there's now over 5,000 individual wine labels available in this country. So that's in supermarkets, shops, online, wherever. And wine is supposed to be an FMCG good. We know what FMCG means, right? Fast-moving consumer good. It's a supermarket item. But do you think there are 5,000 individual brands of toilet paper, muesli bars, or cat food? No. You walk into that wine aisle in your supermarket and it's like, you're dwarfed by it. So when people are faced with too much choice, we regress, we lose confidence, and we stick with the same old, same old. So with Wine Friend, we could see how that was happening. And we could see how people were sticking with their same olds because, the risk that the wine might not be to your taste is too great. You don't want to buy a dud, do you? So when we're buying, something that's $10, $15, $20, $30 a bottle, we want to feel confident. We want a guarantee, please, especially if we're unable to try before we buy. It's not like buying a car or a fridge or whatever. You can test those things out. Buying a house, you go to an open home. Buy a bottle of wine, you're expected to drop $20 on something you don't know? No, it's a risk, so you stick with what you do. So what we ask our customers to do is to trust me to do that buying for you. Okay? You tell me what you want to spend, tell me a little bit about your taste buds, and I go ahead and I do it, and I open up a whole new world of wine for you. And they're not supermarket wines either. So out of New Zealand's 700 wine producers, we've got 700 of them now, which is massive. The majority of them are small. They're organically inclined boutique operators, and they work incredibly hard to be seen in this wildly competitive market. 5,000 brands, remember. So Wine Friend was created to give a voice to those small producers who are creating great wines, but they just can't compete with the big brands that own the supermarket shelves. Anyone tells you they don't own the supermarket shelves, you tell them you're lying, because they do. I get sent dozens of wines every week to review. I know, it's a terrible job. But I've only got a couple of hundred words each week to play with in my wine columns and in my magazines. So I had this, how am I going to tell people about these great wines kind of problem? And Wine Friend solved that. So every one of the 6 bottles that our customers receive each month comes with a little neck tag that I've written about the family or the winemaker, some nuggets of knowledge to help you sound flash in front of your friends, when you pour it, and a food match there. I tell those stories and people instantly form a connection. You're not going to get that in a supermarket wine, are you? So we do things differently, okay? Wine Friend is forging a whole new path. We're disrupting the traditional model of buying wine, and we do this by personally getting to know the taste buds of every individual customer, and we tailor-make our 6-pack selections just for them. We use amazing software built just for us, little online questionnaire. Through that I can start the building blocks of your taste profile, then I can select wines just for you. So your wine's going to be totally different to his wines or your wines every month. It's a huge job. The feedback that you give me helps refine and refine and refine so I can get better at choosing things for you. So it's a big deal, but I'm loving it. And every day that we're able to pay our bills is an achievement. And I was asked recently what I felt my greatest achievement was. Now you'd imagine, like a normal person, that you'd immediately think, it's the faces of my children. That's my greatest achievement. Or, I might have thrown in, it's the fact that I've been self-employed since I was 22. Awesome. Or maybe I could throw in that it's the, fantastically frisky marriage that I have with my current husband. You've got to say current because you've got to be prepared these days, don't you? But if I'm brutally honest, when I was asked that question, the first thing that popped into my head and gave me this huge fist pump moment was that I have finally managed to grow most of my eyebrows back after the 90s. It's a big deal, they were rough years. And we're thinking about appearances, one more thing. When I was about 14, I don't know what happened, it might have been puberty or something, but I suddenly grew this massive vertical frown line, like right between my eyes, which meant people for years, like a couple of decades, kept asking me, they kept coming up to me going, "You all right? You all right? Is everything okay at home? You getting enough sleep?" And I was like, "Come on," because apparently I had resting bitch face of epic proportions, So I was like, I've got to do something about this. So I got a squirt of Botox right in the wrinkle, disappeared over a couple of months, and now, according to my friends, I don't look like someone who wants to break into your house and stab you in the night. There you go, small victories. Anyway, I digress. Right, I've got to stick to my notes. So this little bit of the speech, I know I'm going on, but it's going to wrap up really soon. This little bit of my speech is dedicated to those ones in the audience who've come to congratulate their loved ones on this really exciting day. So, mums, dads, grandparents, family, friends and workmates, the people that are here to cheer them on. Today's not just about these guys, it's about you too. Further education is always there. It's always there, it's always an option, doesn't matter what stage in life you're at. As adults, it's our duty to stay informed and educated and to move with the times. We've seen so many of our older, parents, grandparents, relatives, friends struggle with the changes in technology, the changes in social and political and scientific thinking because, they've resisted. They've resisted in the hope that somehow we'd go back to a simpler time, and that's never going to happen. Our times are only going to become more complex. And it's really exciting. It's awesome. It's going to be awesome, so we might as well embrace it. So make it your mission to not be left behind. And no matter what your age, it's okay sometimes to step backward, jump sideways, and change direction. I did it. My husband did it. So my husband, just to tell you, he's not here, so don't tell him that I told you this. But he was told all during his school years that he wouldn't amount to anything. And I know because I was actually at intermediate with him, and I heard teachers telling me he was useless. And to his face, "You're useless. You're not worth anything." But anyway, he stuck it out till the 7th form, or year 13, I think it is, left school, and he went out in the workforce. And he worked for a few years, and he found that he actually had real talent when it came to leadership and management. And encouraged by some of his employers, he decided, bugger it, I'm going to do something about it. And he enrolled in EIT. And EIT gave him the assistance that he needed to then progress to Massey University, and a couple of years later, he walked away with a degree in business management. And so, now this man who thought he was a loser, his childhood, teenagehood, early 20s, thought he was a loser because he couldn't spell very well, is now a senior executive for a major multinational corporation. He's on 6 figures, he's an amazing husband, he's a great friend, father and provider. But you know what, if he didn't take that chance, if he didn't actually take that risk, he'd still be working in a timber yard. So, for everyone at every stage in this room, it is never too late to change your situation. It really isn't. And for those of you graduating here today, there are some tips that I've written down because Chris told me I had to have tips. Tips for smoothing the way into this next phase of your life. We live in the age of me, but I'll tell you right now, your future is going to be so much brighter if you always aim to make other people feel good. So whenever you walk into a boardroom, a shop, an office, a bank, the gym, wherever, make sure you've got a smile on your face, even when you're complaining. All right? Especially when you're complaining, especially when you've got something to say. Say it with a big smile on your face. You'll be amazed at how you get treated and how your problems just disappear. When you're in a meeting, always listen intently to the other person and look them in the eye because this will make them feel appreciated and valued and understood. Always, and this is a really key one, always remember something important about the important people around you. And I don't just mean your friends and family, right? I mean your boss, your suppliers, your clients, your workmates. You know, people that you need to use to get ahead. So remember something important about them, about their kids, their holidays that they took, whatever it is that they're doing in the gardening, in the garden that weekend. So sometimes the key to getting that promotion, that contract, that deal, making that sale is simply taking an interest and paying attention to people. And finally, right, because I can see your eyes kind of glazing over. Can I just see a show of hands? Put your hands up if you're not a parent. You don't have any kids, can I see? Ooh, okay. So here we go. When you decide, when and if you decide to become a parent, this is going to be a little bit controversial. Don't give your baby a stupid name. Scientific, and I mean this, so you're all laughing, you're all cracking up. But this is the most serious thing that I can pass on to you. Scientific and economic research has proven time and time again that people with unusual or indulgent names are always unfairly discriminated against in every social strata. You know, the world is an unforgiving place, and by giving your child a wacky name, you're not giving them something individual. You're being selfish. And you are effectively crippling them from birth. You know, just read the book Freakonomics. There's a whole chapter on it. You know, you think it's a joke, but it's really important. And why I'm bringing this up is because when you bring a new life into the world, you want to make sure that that kid has every single opportunity to succeed just like you. Don't muck it up for them. Imagine, let's say you've got a daughter, you've just had a beautiful baby girl. Imagine how your daughter's going to feel when she walks into that job interview, or she's gunning for a position in a law firm, or maybe she wants to stand for Parliament like Craig. Good name, Craig. She wants to stand for Parliament. She has to walk into a room and introduce herself. Kia ora, I'm Twilight Beyonce Kesha Bieber-Smith. Don't laugh, real name. Someone called their kid that. Now, she's never going to be taken seriously no matter how clever she is. It's just the way society is. And if you have the misfortune of having been given a difficult name, don't be afraid to change it. People do it all the time. It might just be the thing you need to get ahead. Just saying. So I'm all for freedom of expression and creativity. Hey, I'm in the artistic industry, but there's a time and a place to exercise it, and it's not when naming your baby. It's a massive decision, and when you're choosing that all-important name, imagine yourself as a nasty 6-year-old in their classroom, and think about all the horrible nicknames that little sod could tease your kid with over the name you gave him or her. Think about how it's going to scan on a business card. Make sure school teachers can actually pronounce it correctly when they read the roll. And if you call your child Kate, spell it K-A-T-E, maybe C-A-T-E, but not some crazy K-H-E-I, number 8. Your child will carry the burden of having to spell her name out letter by letter over and over again to thousands of people throughout her life. God, it's been a mission just having a name like Yvonne. That's me, I'm done. That's my rant. Thank you enormously for listening. You're all brilliant, and you're all going to be stars. I'm very excited for you. Thank you so much.
Yvonne, thank you for a wonderful address. Very, very entertaining and very brave in terms of sharing so much of your life story with us. We greatly appreciated your frankness and also your messages, but we really do appreciate you taking time out of your exceptionally busy schedule to perform this very, very important role this afternoon at our graduation ceremony. As Chris mentioned in your introduction, your activities in the wine, media, writing and public speaking industries are many and varied. You have strong connections to Hawke's Bay and many other parts of New Zealand where your roles have taken you. You've been prepared to pursue your goals overseas and achieve great success. Your view of the opportunities available to us is enlightening, refreshing, and certainly very challenging. We very much appreciate your wisdom and involvement in our ceremony this afternoon, and we wish you every success in the future. Whatever you choose to do, I'm sure you will succeed. It is now my pleasure to introduce Warika Timehana. He is a graduate of the EIT Certificate in Contemporary Music Performance 2006. He will be performing a piece that he has written himself called Hero and Retrograde by James Blake. Please welcome away.
In the world you've grown, a few more years to go. So don't let the hurdles fall. Just be the one you are. Be the one you are. I'll wait. So show me why you're strong. Ignore everybody else. You're alone now. Suddenly I'm in. Yes, there's darkness on the dawn, and my friends are gone, and your friends won't come. So tell me why you fear. Show me where you fit.
Thank you. Oh yeah, that was Retrograde by James Blake. Before I sing this next one, it's called Hero. I wrote it myself. It's just about someone that I lost myself. So if you ever or know of anyone that you miss or misconstrue, then just bring it out in this song.
I found my book, but it's empty. Just take a look. I'm not surprised when you say you don't believe me. There's no give and take, just taking. So when my tears hit the page, I can see the details in the fabric. Na 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 na. I can't help you, but I wish I could. Turn Super Saiyan to Cinnamina Wood. I would have been your hero. I take a step back, and I realize that purple is the new black. Electric bright blue tears fall from my eyes. They don't want anything to do with you. So when you get knocked down, you gotta get back up and show all of these people you got no tear ducts. No, 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 no. I can't help you, but I wish I could turn Super Saiyan 2. Said I mean I would. I would have been your hero. Oh.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Waireka Te Meihana, a graduate of EIT Certificate in Contemporary Music Performance. Thank you very much, Wai, for your entertainment today. Mr. Pearson, we will now continue with the conferment of degrees for the faculty. Mr. Pearson, I have the honour to present the degrees in Te Manga Kaupapa Tau Hoko Hoko Hangarau, the Faculty of Commerce and Technology. Beginning with the Bachelor of Business Studies, Accounting Major, Andrea Gardner. Kelly Miller. Vaibhav Rajpati. Matthew Robinson. The next graduate is also awarded the PricewaterhouseCoopers Award for Academic Excellence in the Bachelor of Business Studies Accounting Major. Congratulations, Oliver Simpson. Stacey Sturgis. Sania Tabasam. Amalia Tang. The next graduate is also awarded the Niggy Hibbert Memorial Cup and BDO Award for Best All-Round Student in the Bachelor of Business Studies, Lars van Gestel. Matt Waterworth. And Michelle Webb. The Bachelor of Business Studies, Accounting and Management Majors, Andre Binford. Rachel Parks. Kitiara Penny Terikia. Bachelor of Business Studies, Information Management Major, Rahul Raghunath. Bachelor of Business Studies Management major, Sophia John. The next graduate is also awarded the Fletcher Challenge Trust Award for Academic Excellence in the Bachelor of Business Studies Management major, Natasha Liota. Anne Masters. Bachelor of Business Studies Marketing major, Kelvin Supatru. Sarah Witkowski. Bachelor of Business Studies Marketing and Management, Caitlin Byrne. Hannah Sands Schroeder. The next graduate is also awarded the SIL Research Award for Academic Excellence in the Bachelor of Business Studies Marketing major, Ilana Tapp. The Graduate Diploma in Business Management, Basha Adikari Kaki. Layek Baig. Karen Lewis. Patrick Moniz. Kayaz Padar. Tijan Vagesi Theki Kanichukatu John. June Wong. I'm hoping this is right. The Graduate Diploma in Business Wine Industry, Bharat Gadipati. Graduate Diploma in Professional Accounting, Irene Edick. Asish Gurung. Kamuljot Singh. The Postgraduate Diploma in Applied Management, graduating with merit, Praneeth Kumar. Amal Mara Lidharan. Naveen Pinumati. Graduating with merit, Nati Ramnarain. Shashi Shekhar. Graduating with merit, Sarati Venkatesh. And Vignesh Vijaya Shankar. Now we have a graduate for the Graduate Diploma in Business Wine Industry, Kavya Vunam. The Bachelor of Computing Systems, Matthew Anderson. Tane Archibald. The next graduate is also awarded the Alistair Macleay Memorial Cup and the BDO Award for all-round Best Student in the Bachelor of Computing Systems, Malcolm Blake. Elisa May de los Reyes. Abil del Coro. Liam Gardner. Matt Gibson. William Grew. James Ireland. Rory Lee. Edward Mundak. Kit Martin. Daniel Nitschke. Andrew Percy. Emily Scary Davis. The next graduate is also awarded the Spark Digital Award for Academic Excellence in the Bachelor of Computing Systems, Mark Smith. Jamie Sutton. Justin Turner. Surab Butts. Jonathan Weir. Harley Zorn. The Bachelor of Computing Systems and the Diploma in Information and Communications Technology, Stanley Rennick Russell. Graduate Diploma in Information Technology, James Kahn. DeLong Lee. Abene Metuku. Yingsi Ning. Bibin Thomas. Yasmin Trocchino. The Postgraduate Diploma in Information Technology, Gopal Dango. Midhun Josh. Tarindu Mahavitalangi Don. Amanda Price. Sumi Saju. And Harry Singh. The Bachelor of Viticulture, Nick Very. The Bachelor of Wine Science, Lachlan Bainbridge. Jing Liu. Juliet Simmons. The concurrent Bachelor of Viticulture and Bachelor of Wine Science, Anton Luton. Douglas Rennell. A Graduate Diploma in Oenology. The next graduate is also awarded the EIT School of Viticulture and Wine Science Award for academic excellence in the Graduate Diplomas in Oenology and Viticulture, Isabel Ayres. The next graduate is also awarded the EIT School of Viticulture and Wine Science Award for academic excellence in the Graduate Diplomas in Oenology and Viticulture, Ildi Afit. Seth Hall. Rohit Saini. Pranav Thikidat. The Graduate Diploma in Oenology and the Diploma in Grape Growing and Winemaking, Nicola Devereaux. And the Graduate Diploma in Viticulture, Govinda Pal Singh. Mr. Pearson, I have the honour to present the Master's Qualifications in Te Kura Pukenga Roro Hiko, the School of Computing. The Master of Information Technology, John Jameson. Mr. Jameson's research is titled On the Efficacy of Band Mill Telemetry as a Real-Time Performance Metric. Ladies and gentlemen, John Jameson. Istvan Lengel. Mr. Lengel's research is titled Student Achievement, the Impact of Collaborative Cloud-Based e-book Authoring on Student Achievement. Mr. Lengel. And lastly, Lee Olson. Mrs. Olson's research is titled From Reference Desk to Help Desk, the Effects of Technological Change on the Academic Library. Lee Olson. The degrees are also conferred and the diplomas are also awarded to those who are listed in absentia. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. I will now call upon the Deputy Chief Executive, Mark Oldershaw, to introduce the valedictorian.
Ladies and gentlemen and graduates, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the valedictorian. Valedictorian is the anglicised derivation of the Latin word meaning to say farewell, and is given as the last presentation of a graduation ceremony by a graduate who represents the entire graduating student body. Our valedictorian this afternoon graduates with a concurrent Bachelor of Viticulture and a Bachelor of Wine Science degrees. He moved from Whangarei to Hawke's Bay in 2012 to begin studying at EIT and was the recipient of a Year 13 degree scholarship. He has been an exceptional student, achieving an A average across his courses throughout the duration of his time studying at EIT. In his second year, he was awarded the Constellation Brand Scholarship and began an internship to complete his viticulture work experience as a requirement of his degree. He worked with the Corner 50 viticulture team and was offered a full-time position with CELAC's Constellation Brands in his third year. Constellation Brands has continued to support our valedictorian while he studied part-time and by distance between 2014 and 2016, so he could balance work and his study commitments here at EIT. In both 2015 and 2016, he entered the Bayer Young Viticulturist of the Year Award and was placed second in both times. On behalf of the graduating class of 2017, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, would you please welcome back on stage Anton Luton.
Thank you. I should really win next time, shouldn't I? Good afternoon to you all. It is a privilege to be speaking to you on this special day. Being asked to be valedictorian came as quite a surprise. I don't think it hit me initially what an honour would be to be asked to speak to you. After I was asked, I would be lying if I said I didn't feel any trepidation about being up here today. Honestly, my first thought was, what do I say? And my second thought was, I hope I don't embarrass myself. But truly, it is a pleasure to be celebrating this occasion with you. Today is a day that should rightly be celebrated. This ceremony celebrates the culmination of all our hard work and determination. It is a moment to reflect on the time we have had at EIT and how our experiences there will lead us into the future. I don't think anybody sitting here in front of me who entered EIT to pursue a dream can doubt that they have grown in confidence during the course of their studies. To be here now graduating means that EIT has grown and instilled in you a passion that has driven you to succeed and will drive you to continue pursuing your career and your dreams. Many of us, myself included, probably cannot wait for the day that graduation happened. After battling through challenging assignments and sweating through exams, although looking back, it is clear now that these challenges have shaped who we are. Now that we are here, I personally feel a profound sense of accomplishment for what we have done. But it is now the time to take the next step. I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling a sense of nervous excitement and uncertainty in what comes next. Graduation is a tipping point in our lives, where we reflect on the high points of the past few years and try to decipher what our journey into the future will be. It is at this point you realise how blissful student life is. Unfortunately, we can no longer justify starting the day at 10 a.m. for the midday lecture, or skipping Friday's class to go to the pub. From this point on, if you're late on Friday morning, you get a written warning, We have to take the next step in our careers. Fortunately, we no longer have to see how many different ways potatoes, rice, and sausages can go together. It's exciting to say the least. There are a lot of open doors awaiting us. We shouldn't worry. 2016 is a fantastic year to be graduating. There's opportunity aplenty in Hawke's Bay and in New Zealand for all our chosen fields. New Zealand wine is an exciting industry to be in at the moment, and I know from fact that EIT graduates are respected worldwide. New Zealand tech companies are at the forefront of the IT industry, and they need skilled individuals. The surging growth of many of our industries has left a void for skilled tradespeople across all fields. New Zealand simply does not have enough tradespeople. Lastly, tourism is the future of our country and will be our biggest industry in years to come, no doubt. This country has so much to offer, and the tourism industry has barely been tapped. We have to be clever to encourage these industries, but protect what we cherish: our land, our water, and our heritage. Undoubtedly, there are challenges in the future. The political future of the Western world is uncertain. New Zealand is an ever-changing melting pot of cultures, and the workplace is rapidly changing to meet the demands of modern-day life and technological advancement. Instead of resisting change, we should embrace the possibilities that these challenges bring. The changing political scene opens up new possibilities and new markets. New cultures bring diversity, wealth, and industry to our small corner of the globe, and New Zealand needs foreign investment to continue growing. The wine industry is now facing several serious challenges, partly due to their own success. The demand for New Zealand wine has now led to a shortage of resources. We don't have enough suitable land for viticulture. We use too much water. And we have a really big problem with the shortage of seasonal labour. We need to solve these problems without compromising our final product. All New Zealand industries are in the same boat. We're a small player on the world scene. The key to our success is to premiumise all our products. We need to maintain the best reputation for the best wine, the best dairy, the best meat, the best honey, the best tech, the best hospitality, and the best people overall. The only advice I can offer you after my meagre 23 years on this earth is that attitude is everything. Attitude trumps ability. People will respect a good attitude, and they will respect you. Take a good attitude into a new opportunity, and you will succeed. Your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. I would like to finish by saying a personal thanks to the past and present lecturers and staff in the Vit and Wine School. EIT has a fantastic program because of your passion. I would also like to personally thank the great people in the wine industry who have supported me personally, and the wine industry for supporting graduates all over New Zealand. Lastly, I would like to thank my family and my partner. Good luck to you all.
Ine iwi, tēnā koutou katoa. Greetings to everyone gathered here today. At graduation, we draw on a tradition in donning academic robes and enacting the ancient ritual of capping. The role of valedictorian is another important component of this time-honoured ceremony. Anton Luten's address encompassed the joys and the challenges which students experience as they strive for their tertiary qualifications. Today we've gathered to celebrate the realisation of these educational aspirations in this, our 2017 cohort of graduates. Endeavour, commitment, recognising and grasping opportunities, and taking pride in achievement. These are the underlying values of our celebration. And Anton, congratulations. Your eloquent address captured these qualities. Thank you for a job well done. We wish you well for your future. In taking the leap of faith into the world of tertiary education, our students have to manage study, family life, financial commitments, friendship, sports and leisure activities, yet still find time to sleep. While a village may be needed to raise a child, the support of the wider community also benefits students on their demanding learning journeys. So many thanks to the committed family, friends and well-wishers who lovingly helped to carry the load. And I know I am speaking for all EIT staff and council members in telling you that we do derive great satisfaction in recognising and celebrating the success of our graduates. Because we are educators, your achievements are also our achievements. Your successes are affirming, and we share your sense of fulfilment today. Because graduation also shines a light on EIT's performance, we'd like to share a few significant points that relate to that today. Significantly, Māori are making great strides in engaging in tertiary education, and this is reflected in achievement rates. Last year, Māori comprised 42% of EIT's student body. For 2016, we have awarded 180 more qualifications to Māori, 164 certificates, 17 more diplomas, 7 fewer degrees, but importantly, 6 more postgraduate qualifications. In total, EIT Hawke's Bay has awarded 2,584 qualifications for 2016 completions, 168 more and a 7% increase on the previous year. We are constantly looking to widen our range of offerings at all levels, and this year we awarded 41 more postgraduate qualifications than 2016. People of all ages study at EIT, reflecting a growing interest in lifelong learning. The youngest to complete a qualification last year was a 16-year-old who gained a Level 2 certificate in Foundation Studies, Allied Trades. At the other end of the spectrum, a 74-year-old achieved a certificate in Introduction to Visual Arts and Design. So we all bask in the glow of graduation. Our thanks goes to those who have worked so hard to organise these ceremonies, and to the dedicated teaching and support teams who underpin our many programs. We embrace you all in our educational family. Graduates, you are our alumni, and you carry us with you as you move out into the world. You are our greatest te onga. Graduates, after the ceremony finishes, please make your way to Clive Square. This afternoon's parade will depart from there with VIPs, academics and graduates. For the families, whānau, the parade will process from Clive Square onto Emerson Street and finish at the Sound Shoal. I will now invite our Kamatua Rawiri Anru to come forward for the karakia.
To all those who've graduated, ka mutu koutou, well done. Now, the closing karakia is based on a text from the Bible, Book of Numbers, chapter 6, verses 24, 25 and 26. For those of you who are curious enough to look that up after sometime later, to help you to remember that the teacher in me wants to put it in this way. Numbers, very important to a place like EIT. Chapter 6, 6 months, half a year, about the length of a semester, 24, 25, 26, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Kia karakia tātou, let's pray. Mai hoa tātou e manaaki, mana tātou e tiaki. Mā i hoa e mea kia tiaho tōna mata ki a tātou, mana no tātou e ata whai. Mā i hoa tōna kanohi e whakaara ki a tātou, mana no i tuku te rangi Māori ki a tātou. Āmine. We'll close the ceremony with the national anthem, which will be led by Alison Beale. Please join in. The words are in the program on page 11. It will be sung first in Māori and then in English. But after that, please remain standing while the official party, staff, and then graduates retire. Kia ora tātou.